And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition of ESL Open Cup Americas number 232. It's great to be back. Another weekly dose of American, European, and Korean StarCraft. All the regions, they converge together here for this weekly tournament. I'm, of course, host Live VIP, and with me, I'm joined by these amazing players, the people in the chat, and my lovely plushies as well. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Welcome, everyone. Let's just dive right on in to our first series. As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have our Swedish Zerg player. The Red Zerg representing Root Gaming, it is SortOf. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the Blue Zerg player representing the Platinum Heroes, it is ChewChilla. ChewChilla, papi, ChewChilla. Here we go again. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket today. The bracket is massive. It's huge. There are so many amazing players that are going to be stepping up here to compete tonight, and I'll be honest, I had a hard time. I had a very hard time picking my first match. Like, I looked at it and I was like, there's like 3 or 4 really good ways to start the tournament and progress the tournament. And in the end, I settled on this one for good reason, and we can get into that once we wrap up the series. Once we have a look at the bracket itself, we can talk about the upcoming series, the upcoming matches. But for now, it is going to be a ZvZ. Right, ZvZ to kick things off. It's going to be standard openers, Hatch, Gas, Pool out of SortOf, Hatch, Gas, Pool out of ChewChilla as well. Again, SortOf, for those who are maybe unaware, he's a player that did retire for a while. He went on an extended hiatus a couple of years ago, but has since returned. If you remember, he came back, I want to say last year around DreamHack Jönköping. Of course, that event did happen in Sweden, and I theorize at least that event did spark interest in SortOf again, as SortOf did go to the open bracket, the open stage. I mean, a lot of the Swedish players did, of DreamHack Jönköping last year, and was maybe revitalized, reinvigorated his interest. There was a bit of a resurgence in SortOf's interest in StarCraft, and since then he has returned. He spent some time in Korea. He did travel there for, of course, I think it was for studies. I think he was studying in Korea for a while. Did since return. I think recently did return back to Sweden, but I think he has plans to go back to Korea once again. So yeah, it's just really cool to see SortOf once again competing, once again partaking in StarCraft, and has been streaming quite often. Every now and then we do raid SortOf. Whenever we finish a stream, we try to support as many players as we can. Always try to spread out the love and spread out the raids. And yeah, SortOf has been very active on the at least streaming wise. Streaming as third bases are being taken and Bailey and Ness are on the way for both players. So far we are keeping up with each other. So far nothing crazy going on. We are just going for standard games and standard openers. Once again, SortOf just being active with these lanes, just scouting across the map, trying to get a read on what ChewChilla is up to. Nothing too crazy. Speaking of ChewChilla, as we just went on a bit of an explanation of the player that is SortOf, or at least some of his history the past couple of years. ChewChilla is more of an amateur upcoming player, I believe, for around the Masters level, but I'm more than excited, more than ready to feature ChewChilla to see how well they can perform against one of the more established players. The other great thing about this mirror matchup is that you can definitely learn from it as well. Whether they succeed, whether they fail, you can definitely learn from these replays, from this experience. That's one of the great things about these tournaments, is that they are open to all players, regardless of skill, regardless of region. They are open to all. You can partake and even play against some of your favorite players. Did you want to face off against Beyond? Did you want to face off against Dark, Hero, Max Pax, Clan? Then you have the opportunity to by signing up and playing in an ESL Open Cup. There's always value in that. For now, again, we're just going to be establishing our third bases. Roach Warrens are on the way for both players, both SortOf and ChewChilla. We're just chilling out back at home. Also, I'm assuming it's ChewChilla, not ChewChilla. I'm assuming. Oh, as it feels like we did overmake some banelings here. Yeah, we made an extra pair of 3rd and 4th baneling. This does mean that that's some extra gas spent elsewhere. Baneling's gonna be rolling in. No! And we do get some decent connections. Trading 2 for 2. A couple of extra links go down as well. That was a better trade for SortOf. He will back off behind this. Is amassing roaches. It's happy to. And ChewChilla is gonna be cutting workers. Okay, we're going for it all in. Oh, one Baneling gets wasted, though the other Baneling, only one Baneling remains. I mean, it's not the most important unit here as we're getting to our all-in. We're cutting workers at 39, massing nothing but roaches, and oh, never mind, we're droning. For a moment, it looked like we had cut workers, but no, now we made a massive wave of roaches. Now we're making a wave of drones behind this. It may be wise for ChewChilla to use this army to move out across the map to reveal himself to these overlords and to force SortOf just to overextend. Or I say overextend. To force him to overreact. As Banelings are rolling in, SortOf does react in time. Oh no! He reacts, bleeds out 3 drones to 2 Banelings. Good reaction here out of SortOf. He does minimize his losses. But again, ChewChilla, because we invested so hard into this, it may be, we're going to be staying at home, so we won't be forcing a big reaction. Still droning up, and there we go. Now we move out. And I do like this. I do like this as we're not all in by any means. We are droning. Oh, as we take some Banelings to the face, but we're trying to force SortOf to respond and to make roaches and to stop droning himself. The problem here is that because this move out is so late, SortOf, he's already droned up to 62. He's already droned up, he's already, you know, he otherwise could have been a little bit more vulnerable earlier, would have stopped making workers earlier, but he has gotten away with quite an amount of greed, and can he be punished? We do have an overwhelming roach army, but the defender's advantage in favor of SortOf. SortOf, he will hold on, and again, SortOf, he's already on a 3-base saturation. Does force those roaches back. Does force them back. ChewChilla, back at home, is working towards his lair, working towards his roach production. Unfortunately, SortOf is slightly ahead in set upgrades, so we're going to need to do something a little bit spicier here to catch back up. I mean, I appreciated the Baneling run by earlier, but there's so much potential harassment here in ZvZ, going for dropper lords, going for tunneling claw roaches, going for run bys, trying to outposition your opponent. We can see it's going to be the Spire. Risky move as the Overseer is diving right into the main base, and SortOf doesn't quite get in. Changeling is dropped, and do we notice? Oh, we do notice the Changeling. We do shut it down, and the Scout is denied. Thankfully. Thankfully, the Scout is denied, so the Spire so far unseen, undetected, and we can get into mass muta from here. I say mass muta. We can make a wave of mutas from map control and then stabilize from there, or we could double down. See what ChewChilla does go for. For the time being, SortOf just building up towards +2 range, no roach speed, already on 3-base saturation. More than that, getting up to 72 workers. Solid drone count here for SortOf. Just going to be long distance mining from the 4th base. Overseer goes back in, and we get a full scout. We do get confirmation of the Spire, and now it's go time. We scout the Spire, we throw down the Hydrogen, and we're moving out across the map. It's all or nothing here for SortOf. And ChewChilla, do we have any spine crawlers? No spine crawlers to speak of. We are down in roaches. SortOf just peeling off a couple of roaches headed for the natural base, distracting the main army. And he does slip in. He does manage to slip in here. Going for the natural base, drones are going down, Queen is going down, and SortOf is pulling a ChewChilla apart. I mean, this is the risk you take. It's the risk you take when you go for a Spire like this, so if it went unscouted, maybe it's a different scenario. Maybe we do get away with it, but alas, 18 drones going to be going down. Mutas will force back the roaches, but we already have the Hydrogen. We can make Hydras back at home. As the entire mineral line going down, SortOf will pull back. We're going to get a bile in, shaving off a couple of roaches here and there it is. Hydras are in production as we speak. Hydra speed as well. And we only did make a handful of mutas, so we don't even need too many Hydras, to be honest. As long as we have a handful of Queens, we should be okay. As Overlords are being hunted down. Now turning back around. God, the activity of the minimap. The Overlords are just rallied everywhere. Oh my god, it's crazy. They are rallied everywhere. Hydras are still going to be massing up. And hey, I believe these mutas got 2 Overlords and a Hydra. Not bad. Not bad whatsoever. But we're just doubling down on roach production, moving out across the map once again. Look at the units tab. We are up 51 roaches to 42. The 1 Ravager, the 1 Bile. Let's go. Let's go, man. We have the 1 Bile. I do appreciate the mutas going for, I believe, the Ravager. At least they attempt to focus it down. Just getting free damage on the army itself. At the same time, once again, Roach is a slip into the natural base. Another 16 drones going down. ChewChilla's all in. It's all or nothing at this point. ChewChilla does have a large army, but has no sustain, has no longevity. That's a kill on the natural base. SortOf pulling ChewChilla apart. And this is going to be the final big engagement here as Roach as they get called out. SortOf going to be able to start a step forward. Has the upgrade advantage. Has 2-1 over the 2-0 of ChewChilla. And GG gets called. It just becomes a little bit too much. And SortOf will take game number 1. GG. But a shout out to ChewChilla. Again, he held his own for a time. There were a couple of, couple of areas where we could have refined ourselves here or there, but for the most part we did hold our own. Alas, the mutas, as we mentioned before, is always a risk. It's always a risk that you take, and it's high risk, high reward, right? If it goes unscattered, you can pop off, you can gain map control, you can comfortably calm down, invest in upgrades and max out. But unfortunately it got scattered. Unfortunately the scout did occur, and as soon as that happened, we went straight for the punish, just pulling ChewChilla apart with our Roach advantage. And with that, SortOf takes a lead. SortOf, oh no, there we go. SortOf does take a lead, but we'll see if he can clean this up or if ChewChilla can bounce back. I want to believe. I do want to believe. So we're getting into game number 2. Okay. I see reverse in the chat. It's ChewChilla with the L sound, not the Y sound. USA. Okay. Not ChewChilla. I like ChewChilla though. It's good. It sounds good. Okay. Illa. ChewChilla. Like a chimichanga. I haven't had breakfast today. I mean, I just woke up. It's, for those that are curious, it's 9:30 a.m. in the morning, or 9:22 a.m. in the morning here in Australia. Just woke up. Oh, and yeah, the wrong map. We did accidentally just remake on Oceanborn, so we'll just have to remake on the correct map. But yeah, I woke up at 8 a.m. I woke up at 8 a.m. and now it's time to cast. At least have some water. I'm okay. I'll try to get some food afterwards. After the cast, we'll be okay. Get some noodles. It looks like we have remade, and we're gonna be loading into GoldenEra as game number 2. Let's go. Let us go. Again, we can delve into the bracket after this series. There's a lot to go over. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of GoldenEra, we have our Swedish Zerg player currently leading the series 1-0, looking to advance on into the next round. Can he be stopped? It's the red Zerg player for Root Gaming, SortOf. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. Oh, let's go! Going for a 13-12, we have the blue Zerg player representing the Platinum Heroes. It is a ChewChilla. Let's go. 13 gas, 12 spawning pool here. ChewChilla going to be hyper aggressive with this. We can rush into link speed. We can throw down the Bailey nest. We can hyper commit and go all in. And we'll see if SortOf can survive this, can defend. I appreciate that we had like kind of the 2 different phases of ChewChilla over the course of this series. Game 1, we saw something a little bit more macro oriented and standard, and now that we're done with that, the gloves are off, papi. The gloves are off, the pants are down. It's time to get dirty, papi. It's time to get into some hyper aggression, some cheese. As spawning pool's about to finish up, building up that gas for that link speed, and so you're gonna be amassing. Yep, those links ascend across the map. Back at home, SortOf going for a hatch gas pool, standard opener. Overlord Scout moving out across the map. Second Overlord being kept back at home. And we're trying to get a read on what exactly is going on. We'll soon get eyes on the Lings, I imagine, unless we can avoid the Scouts. The Lings going to be skirting around the left-hand side. Specifically rallied to the left-hand side as well, so they will be hidden from the Overlord. ChewChilla will keep this secret. We'll keep it safe for now. We'll see what's in his pocket as a Bailey nest is thrown down for ChewChilla. Likewise, SortOf back at home. Still no scouting. I believe we just saw a glimpse of the Lings with the second Overlord. And now, time to respond. Spinecrawler on the high ground. Queens are on the way. Lings as well. So we've got 2 queens, we've got a handful of lings. Spine Crawler has been thrown down, and we pull the boys to at least save the Spine Crawler. No, never mind, just save the low ground. And we'll see if we can. So far, we're going to be able to zone some of these things away, dragging them off that hatchery. Additional boys being pulled. Baling nest about to finish up. There we go. Balings are on the way. SortOf is aware. He's trying to catch the Balings, but that's on the right-hand side. Ooh, Balings, they will finish. 2 more in production. Spine Crawler does finish up there on the high ground. Queens are moving forward. And can we hold? Can we focus down those Balings? Up! Oh, big connection! Yeah, big Baling connection on those lings. Likewise, we collapse on top of the Queens. So far, good damage. A good start for ChewChilla, but we need more. Balings, they don't quite go for the mineral line. They don't get tempted by the drones. More lings on the way. Spine Crawler staying on the high ground. Oh, we make a break for it. The Balings, once again, good connections. Yeah, once again, good connections here on those lings. We're going to surround on one of the Queens. But the drone count, that's what I'm worried about. That's the most concerning thing here, is the drone count is left untouched. Like, we've had some good bathing connections, but the Queen stands strong. The Spine Crawler moves down. The drone count is looking beautiful, and we hold. And SortOf has a massive lead. The aggression has subsided. Sure, we have a couple of bathings on the way, but they're not going to finish in time. Yeah, we do deny them. Nice hold here out of SortOf. He bled out 20 links here in the defense, but ChewChilla likewise bled out as much. GG, well played. Good luck here. And SortOf will defend. We'll take the series 2-0. GG. Whew. A very cool, calm, and collected defense there out of SortOf. Again, had his eye on the prize, preserving all those workers, maintaining control of the Queens for as long as possible, the Spine Crawler as well, eventually moving down, but not too soon. And yeah, he was able to beautifully defend there in Game 2. Congratulations. Congratulations, SortOf will take the series 2-0. My condolences to ChewChilla, but it was a great performance nonetheless. Again, up against a pro player is difficult for anyone to be up against, but did make a series out of it, and I'm sure plenty to learn from as well. Again, plenty to learn from. Also, I'm sure always a lot of fun playing against some of your favorite players or some of your favorite streamers even. GG. GG, well played. With that, SortOf advances on, and we can have a look at the bracket and catch up on what's been going on. I should also message some players.